We are about to do something so stupid. And it's stupid because I know Jesse's not going to answer the phone. It's been a week since we spoke. He stood me up. He made all these promises. He stood me up, and then he couldn't be bothered to either pick up the phone when I called or reach out and let me know what happened. So we're feeling emotional today. We're feeling rejected. We're feeling frustrated. We're feeling like we want an explanation. And so we're driving to work for an hour. We're about to call him. And it's going to be a shit show. And it's going to hurt my feelings because I know he's not going to answer. And yet, here I freaking go. All right. We did it. We called the bitch. The bitch did not answer the phone. We are not surprised, but we are still hurt. We're in the car because I have an hour's drive to work, and I'm feeling all anxious and balled up and just I need things to come out of my mouth right now. I need to be able to say things. I need to be able to vent some things. I need some clarity. If for some reason saying things out loud gives me some clarity. Okay, what's going on? We're just very stressed today. I have a lot of anxiety in relationships about coming across as an overbearing girlfriend. And I have a lot of feelings about this. So in my formative relationships, the very first relationships I ever pursued, the very first time I would ever put myself out there with a guy, or the first time that I had feelings for a guy, or the first time I started to fall for somebody and open up to somebody, the first times that I ever delved into that and that I ever explored those things, the guy turned around and basically just balled up what I felt for him, or what I felt even just about a situation or something he said. They would ball up the role that I played and just throw it back in my face and just completely destroy it and completely degrade it and degrade me. And those were early on, 16 years old, 18 years old, the very first times that I ever tried to be in a relationship with a guy. That's how it was treated, that's how it was perceived and received. And at the time, I believed it, hook, line, and sinker. I was like, oh, yeah, I am clingy, or I am overbearing. I always thought I was the freaking problem in the relationship. But with, the more experience that I had with dating other people, and also, the more age you get and the more hindsight, because I still haven't, I haven't ever really talked about these relationships with anybody because, I've said, dating was really just off limits in my family, and so it was never anything we discussed. We were never able to talk about boundaries or healthy relationships or what to look for in a relationship or red flags or any of that. I was completely flying blind my entire life. My entire life. I had no idea. I was starting out and I had zero input, zero influence. The kind of relationships that I saw growing up to, it was those are not the kinds of relationships that are healthier that I want to be in. But I didn't know that at the time. And that actually plays a big role in it. That I think I was seeking out relationships that were similar to my parents' relationship, or guys that were similar to my dad. And I have daddy issues. I for sure do. It sounds dumb, but it's true. I have issues with my dad. I had issues with him growing up. I think it created a lot of, self-esteem problems for me, and I didn't know what to look for in a guy because I had never really been around the kind of guy that people should be around, and it screwed with my head. It really messed with my head. So I was entering into all these relationships, getting into all these things where I was interested in them because they were interested in me, which I still freaking do. And then also, they weren't nice guys. They weren't healthy relationships. There were all these red flags that, I should have seen it coming, and I should have known, and I should have been able to be oof, you're not the kind of person that I really want to be around or date. And, it should have been really easy to turn them away. It should have been so easy to be hey, sorry, You are not the one. For some reason, to this day, I still don't have that skill to just be like, yeah, no. And I should. Anyways, at the time that these guys would say these things, I thought that it made sense. I thought it was like, oh, I am the issue. I am the problem. I am overbearing. I thought, like, to an extent, I thought I was learning how to be in a relationship, and, like, I was like, oh, I just didn't know. Like, that's not cool. Those are the boundaries. Those are the parameters. Don't do those things. They're like, you'll come across as clingy. But with hindsight, with time, with maturity, with age, with everything, I look back at the things that these guys would get ticked off at, and it's like, they were such normal things. They were things that, like, I should not have had to ask for, number one. Number two, they should have been happening on their own anyways. Like, it should have been things that the guys were doing, or that, like, if I was the one doing them, it should have been, like, okay, and it's just weird. It's just weird. The thing is that they'd be like, hey, you're too clingy. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, this is something completely normal. But because they kept saying, like, I was bad and wrong for doing these things, and when I was, like, a teenager, I was like, oh, you just don't do that in a relationship. That's just not part of a relationship. Like, BS. That's straight bullshit. And I wish I could go back in time and, like, talk to myself, or I wish that somebody, like my mom, had ever talked to me about a healthy relationship, or, like, what a guy should treat me like, because these were things that should have been part of a relationship. Let me give this some context. Well, this is the first thing that comes to mind. There's this guy in college from my hometown. We had a thing for a very long time. A very long time. We've just always come from a place of we kind of had feelings for each other. Now, did I ever have feelings for him or develop feelings, like, on my own, independent of him, for him? I don't think so. I think it was another case where I liked him because he liked me. It was like an on again, off again without actually dating. It'd be like, oh, well, sometimes, we're talking about dating and talking about going out and flirting with each other and blah, blah, blah. And then other times we would just, he would ghost. It wasn't ghosting back then, but he would ghost. He would just delete me off of stuff, and it's like, okay, cool, bye. And then, like, a year later, he'd be like, hey, sorry for, doing that again. My freshman year of college is when I decided, like, I really wanted a boyfriend. I really wanted something, like, tangible and in person. I was tired of just texting. I was tired of just messaging because it's not enough. I was 18. I was like, cool, ready for this boy, ready to date. We had this whole, like, story. We had a meet cute and everything. And, like, we had this history together where it's like, I already knew him. I wasn't, starting out with a stranger. I just wanted to go on a few dates and be like, maybe this is a thing that can happen. So while I was in college, I was living on campus. We had always talked about, like, things we wanted to go do together, or, like, dates we could go on. Like, he always did it to me. He would always say things that we could go do and be like, oh, yeah, that'd be really fun. Now, I was, like, 2 hours from his hometown for school, and I didn't go home a lot. I had asked him to come to my college, to campus. It was, like, 2 hours away, and I was like, hey, are you ever in this area? Because it was a major city, and I knew that he was, but sometimes he went there. I was like, hey, when you come down, like, we should go do something. I really want to see you. This boy, over the course of that whole year, found every reason in the book to not come see me at school. And the reason why, like, I didn't go home a lot at all, and the reason why I wanted him to come there instead of me to go back to my hometown to see him is because I had family there, and, like, if I went back, I'd be going back to my parents' house, and, like, I don't know, I just really wanted to, like, break out of my family's dynamics and, like, be my own person. I was, like, 18, I was going to be an adult, I wanted to go see a boyfriend, and, like, I wanted him to come there, so it wasn't like, hey, you can come over to my mom's house. Like, no, I want you to come over to my place, I want to go do something with you, I want to see you, if I want you to stay at my place, like, I want that to be my choice and not have anything to do with my parents. Needless to say, that entire year, he would not come see me. He would not come see me. And I know I'm not stupid in the sense of, like, I know how he was talking to me. I know the angle he was playing. I know that we were not platonic. I know the things he said, they were not platonic. It was just when it came down like, hey, put your money where your mouth is. You say you want to come see me, so come see me. He just wouldn't do it, and he wouldn't follow through. I guess it wasn't a priority, or he didn't really want it. It wasn't a reality. That's just to say, like, in a relationship, if that had been a good relationship, if that had been a good guy for me, if things were going to, like, turn into anything, then the next logical step would have been for him to come see me. It's not that hard. It's not that complicated. Like, if you want to date somebody, the next thing you do is go on a date together. That's what you do. That whole relationship ended in a disaster anyway. Turned out he had a girlfriend the whole time, and then he was talking out of one side of his mouth to me, and then I was like the side hoe or the other lady because he was flirting and romantic and saying all these things and planning all these dates and making all these plans with me, and then it turns out he had somebody else the entire time. Whatever. I'm just saying, like, he was one who told me his words were, and I remember getting so hurt by this, and my friends were like up in arms that he had said this, that there was a time and a place for me. And I know looking back that he said that because he had a girlfriend, he had a relationship, and so like his date nights were spent with her, and like his days and like his overnights were with her. And so I know that like the reason he said that is because I couldn't be his girlfriend, and then because he had somebody fulfilling that role, but like he didn't tell me that. He was not transparent about that. He never said, hey, I'm in a relationship, I just want to be friends, like let's hang out platonically, none of that. That was never communicated. And that hurt when he said that there's a time and a place for me. And I remember all I'd been doing was, I was on a tour for school. I don't even know what we were touring, but I was not feeling well, and so I was texting him, and he's like, hey, I'm going to work, and I can't talk to you right now, and there's a time and a place for you, and I guess basically this is not it, that I'm not going to talk to you right now, which was so rude, so offensive. And like at the time, I was just like, oh man, how do I always do this? How am I always overbearing? How is it that what I want is not what this guy wants? I always thought that. I always felt that. And like, it's because these guys at those early ages were contributing to those feelings and flat out saying that. And it's not true. The things that I was looking for, like to go on a date with somebody you're dating, is normal. It's what should be happening. And like, that's, the fact that I had to ask for it was not cool. The fact that he acted like it was so outrageous of me to say that is not cool, because I completely believed him. And I was like, I for so long was like, well, let me tone back what I say. Let me control what I want. Let me not communicate the things that I'm trying to get out of this, because I don't want to be overbearing. I don't want to be clingy. I don't want to be too demanding. Well, you know what? If I'm dating you, I'm going to want to see you. I'm going to want to go on a date. I'm going to want to spend time with you. I'm going to want to talk to you or hear from you. Or if I have a sick day, I'm going to want to call you and be like, babe, I don't feel good. Like, you're going to be in my life. I'm going to be in your life. And that's the way that it should be. And I just wish I could go back in time and tell myself that and be like, that bitch is not worth it, because he is not treating you right. He is not being a good guy. He doesn't care. You're a side hoe. I didn't know it. It wasn't even a thing. It wasn't even a start when I dated him. I keep falling into the same trap. And it's like, why does that happen when I know what's going on now? Like, I'm so much more aware of things, but I still fall into those same traps, and I don't understand. Is it just old habits die hard? Is it just that I've internalized this stuff so much because it was during such formative years that I'm always going to have this, like, sensitivity to being overbearing, or feel like I, like, say too much or talk too much, or I'm too loud, or I'm too loving, or whatever? I don't know, man. But I gotta be who I am, because me trying to hold back and tone it down in these relationships is like, I am not getting what I want out of it. If this was with the right guy, then he would not even know that, like, he's not giving the right things, or that I'm not happy, because I'd be basically lying to him, being like, oh no, I just want 10%. When it's like, no, I want 100%. That's what I straight up want, is 100% with somebody. And I'll give them my 100% too. That's the thing. Maybe it's a personality deal, because this happens to me with friendships too, where it's like, why does that person never act like I'm a friend? Why do they never care about me? Why do they never care what's going on with me? That, like, I am always the one between the two who's more caring, and it's ridiculous. I hate it more than anything. More than anything. That's one relationship that screwed me up like that. But, like, the pattern continues. This guy that we just called Jesse is like, you are the one who promised me I don't know how much background I've given on this. I've told this story a couple of times now because I was so upset. Called my mom. I was like, okay, so I met this guy through work, was very flirtatious. He gave me his number. I, for a very long time, did not text it or call it. At one point, several months after, I did text it. Whatever. It was flirty. He was clearly interested. I guess I was interested, probably just because he was interested, but whatever. And then he asked me out. I said yes. And then this is the third time he's done this where he asks me out. We make plans for a certain night, and then I don't hear anything from him. He just disappears, man. I'm like, that's not cool. This last time that he did it, we hadn't spoken in a month. Because of this, I texted him and I was like, hey man, it seems like you're too busy for anything right now. Like, best of luck at work. That was it. I didn't want to be mean about it. I was actually really upset about it because he had left me, he straightened me and stood me up twice. And the last time that he did it, he called. He's like, yeah, I'm on my way. I'm going to be there in 40 minutes. So I started heading there. And then, like, he never freaking showed up. And I had to call him that night and be like, dude, what happened? Where are you? Are you okay? And he's like, oh, I just went home and went to bed. Like, okay, cool. Love that. And he never told me. Like, you couldn't send me a text and be like, hey, I'm really tired. I'm going to go home. Like, that's fine. I don't care. But, like, don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. Don't waste my time. So this last time, I hadn't spoken to him in over a month because I was like, dude, you're not the one. You're not it. Jesse, bye. And he called me, and he's like, this is last week that he called me after a month of no contact. He's like, I'm sorry. I had a lot of work going on. I kept saying I'd call you. I kept making dates and plans with you, and then I'd break them, and I wouldn't tell you, and that wasn't cool. And I haven't liked the way that it felt for the last month. Like, I really want to see you still, and I want to take you out. When's your next day off? And so it happened to be on a Saturday. I was like, hey, I actually work every day right now of the week, but the next evening off I have is Saturday night. And he's like, I'm going to call you first so that you're not, like, waiting for me somewhere. I'm going to call you, and we're going to go somewhere. I really want to see you, and I promise I'm going to get out of work early or on time, and I'm going to come see you. And I straight up told him on the phone, I said, don't promise me that because the last few times that you have, like the last few times that you've tried to make it, you haven't made it. And I don't want you to promise me because I don't want you to break that promise. And he's like, no, I am going to promise you because that is what I'm going to do. It's going to happen. I'm going to see you on Saturday. We're going to go out, whatever. And I was like, all right. And I even told him, I was like, basically, I'll believe it when I see it. Did not hear from him. Jesse disappeared. Jesse stood me up. Jesse left me Saturday night sitting there being like, cool, when's Jesse going to call and let me know where we're meeting? Like, cool, love it. I tried calling him a few times after that. He does not answer the phone. He did not answer his text. So we tried calling again today. It's now been a week since we made those plans. Nothing. No answer. There's no excuse on the planet that makes sense for how you can just completely screw somebody over like that for the third time when you just said, I was so wrong for doing it. I'm so sorry. I didn't like the way that I felt for the last month because I really wanted to see you and I knew you were upset with me and I don't like the way that feels and I still want to see you and I promise. Like, shut up. You don't promise. You're not sorry. I don't understand. I don't get it. It's not cool. It was not okay. That's not part of a relationship that should be there. I don't want treated like that. I don't want disrespected like that by a boyfriend. Like, I'm not going to date you, Jesse, because you have so screwed this up from the very beginning, from the extreme first moment. And I just kept giving him chance after chance because I'm afraid of being alone. So I'll date anybody. So we sent a text today after getting off the phone with him that just says, I thought this could be fun. This isn't fun. Bye, Jesse. And, like, that's the end of that. Maybe in another month he'll call me back and be like, hey, you want to go do something? I'm going to be like, no, bitch. I have a boyfriend now. That's what I wish. I'm just dying for the day where, like, there's a good guy who just keeps me off my feet because he's just so good to me and he's just so nice. And you don't have to go literal weeks without hearing from him. You don't have to be told that, like, you're crazy for wanting to go on a date or wanting to see him or that you're stupid because he shouldn't have to stay in touch with you, and like it's enough that you see each other once a week. Like that's not enough for me. That's not what I'm looking for out of a relationship. Maybe out of a date, but not out of a relationship. I don't know. I just don't like it. I'm like, I don't know what the deal is. Is this because I'm looking for a relationship and these guys aren't? Are they looking for a date? And so I don't know. Like I get it. I guess it's fine to be like, hey, I went on one date with you and saw you for one date, and that was it, and that's why I didn't call you back, and that's why I don't respect your time. Like, okay, but I guess then I'm looking to date somebody like continuously. I'm looking for a boyfriend. I'm looking for a relationship. I don't like this. If this is what casual dating around is, I don't like it. And the thing is, like, I know I could do better than that because the bar has been set super freaking low by these guys. Like, the fact that they won't even go on a date with me, or they don't even pick up the phone, or, like, they don't remember when we have plans or anything. It's like, whatever. Cool. You're such a good boyfriend. You're such a good guy. Like, you suck. You're a bad date. You're a bad time. Why is it so hard for me? Like, it should be so easy. It's like, I can say all that and be like, oh, yeah, that's true. They were a bad date. They were a bad time. But, like, what is going on? It's like, it's like I can't even think clearly because it's like, the whole time I'm like, I know it's just that I want them to like me. I want them to love me. I want them to seek me out. I want them to pursue me. And it's like, I have to find a way, I guess, to get over that, like, hunger in me because it's like, none of them are doing it anyways. I'm just trying to whip it up into them, like, seeming like they're doing it. It's like, I just want to read between the lines and be like, no, they really want me because they said blah, 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 and they did da-da-da. And it's like, yeah, none of them want to spend time with you. None of them are actually, like, seeking you out. They clearly don't actually want to spend time with you or be with you. Like, you're just reading into it because you have a broken childhood heart from a broken childhood home where you didn't get enough love as a baby. It's too real, okay? I told you, I have a lot of issues. Like, a lot of issues. You're supposed to just be single, and you're supposed to just, like, deal with it. And for some reason, like, I can't. My stupid brain or whatever just, like, can't deal with that. It's like I need to always be involved with somebody, otherwise I feel, like, restless and bored and, like, unvalued and whatever. It's like, which is so weird, because these guys that I'm picking, it's like, all they do is devalue me and disrespect me. So it's like, why can't I be content on my own, not being disrespected? Why do I always have to throw myself into these relationships where the guy is just going to, like, beat up on me verbally and emotionally, and I'm just like, yeah, this is exactly what I want. This is exactly what I've been missing for the last X number of years. Like, that's not cool, man. I wish that the awareness was enough to stop it, because even though I know I feel this way, I still freaking feel this way. Like, about Jesse. It's like, the smart thing would be like, oh, delete the chat log, delete his number. If he calls again, don't pick up the phone. Like, be done with him, cut him out. Like, that's what the logical thing here to do is, like, why are you trying to talk to somebody who stood you up? There's nothing that speaks louder than that. Like, I believe so much in actions speak louder than words. And there's nothing that says I don't want to see you more than bailing on somebody 3 times. 3 times. I'm just, like, so stupid.